welcome to Mia's Stories. Make sure to subscribe to never miss an update, and a lucky chance to video chat with me. Hey Kelly, it's me. I want to come home, but Mom and Dad won't let me in. They think my lifestyle doesn't measure up. Can I stay with you for a few days until I can convince them to let me back? Mark, you know how strict my neighborhood is. What if they see you? It'll just be for a few days, maybe a week, until I can change their minds. All right, if you can get here without being noticed, but you have to stay inside and out of sight. Perfect. I'll be there soon. About an hour later, I arrived at her door. Kelly opened it and saw a tall girl in a furry coat. Yes. Hey Kelly. Then she recognized me under the coat. Get in here. I stepped into my sister's apartment, and she noticed my rolled-up pant legs. With my long hair and long coat, I could pass as a girl in the dark. Kelly hugged me tightly. Where did you get the coat? She asked. I bought it for $5 at a shop on 3rd. She hadn't seen me in nearly a year. I was still slim, but my hair now reached the middle of my back, shiny from a recent wash and brush. I'll make some coffee, and we can talk. I watched her struggle in the kitchen. Kelly had never been a great cook. Let me handle it, Kelly. I took over, quickly making coffee and heating up some bagels. I called home, and Dad told me not to come over. They think I'm a dirty bum or something. If it's okay, I'll crash here for a few days and then be on my way. All right, I'll talk to Mom and see what she says. I have to work tomorrow, so stay in the house. I'll be back around 5. We went to bed, with me sleeping in her spare bedroom. The next morning, I woke to the sound of Kelly's alarm but stayed in bed for a few more minutes. Eventually, I got up and took a shower, using one of her robes afterward. I found the washer and dryer and put my faded jeans, underwear, socks, shoes, and shirt in. While wandering around the apartment, I peeked into her room. It was frilly and lacy, just like at home. I saw several dresses in her closet, and decided a dress would be more comfortable than the robe if I was going to stay inside all day. I found her panties, slipped a pair on, and chose an older dress that still looked nice. After a bit of a struggle, I got the zipper up, put on a pair of her old shoes that fit, and decided to wear them. By the time Kelly got home, I had cleaned the entire apartment and prepared dinner. The smell of roast beef greeted her as she opened the door. I was at the stove, still in the dress, with a lacy apron around my waist. Hoo-ah! I turned to face her and told her to sit at the table, as dinner was almost ready. My casual attitude about wearing the dress surprised her, but she sat down. The table was perfectly set, and everything in the apartment sparkled for the first time in ages. Mark, what is going on here? Why are you wearing a dress? Well, I put my clothes in the washer this morning, and instead of walking around with nothing on, I borrowed a dress. I had to wear something, right? When she didn't respond, I continued. I was also washing my sneakers, so I found these shoes. Is that okay? Kelly nodded. Instead of sitting around watching TV all day, I cleaned the apartment. It's my way of thanking you for letting me stay here. Kelly noticed how naturally I wore her clothes, my long hair sweeping around my neck and back as I moved, and an idea began to form in her mind. Mark, I talked to Mom today. She said Dad is still against what he calls long hairs, but she'll keep working on him. It might take a week or more. If you're going to stay here, maybe you should consider wearing a dress every day. You could do the shopping, and if someone rings the doorbell, it would be a girl answering. Kelly made the suggestion, leaving it up to me. That night, we watched television together. When I went to bed, I found a nightgown laid out for me. As I lay there in the soft, silky nightgown, I thought about Kelly's proposal. She was right. After a few days cooped up in the apartment, I'd go stir crazy. I decided to give it a try. After Kelly left for work, I decided to see how easy or hard it would be to live as a girl for a few days. It seemed simple in my mind, but I was about to find out for real. I found her bubble bath, razor, and spare blades. The water was warm and inviting as I sank into the tub filled with oily bubbles. I took my time shaving all the hair I could reach, legs, arms, underarms, and the few on my chest. Afterward, I took a shower to rinse off the soapy water. I padded into Kelly's room and picked another pair of her panties. This time, the silky nylon made me shiver as it touched my now smooth and soft legs. I found some pantyhose and, after a bit of a struggle, discovered the trick to pulling them on without tangling myself. The sensation was incredible. I took one of her bras, fastened it around myself, and padded the cups with socks. Instead of a dress, I chose a skirt and blouse. The dark green skirt was moderately short, reaching just above my knees, and the blouse was white. Before putting on the blouse, I decided to try my hand at makeup. Kelly and I had similar coloring, so I did my best with the foundation. The change was immediate and striking. I powdered my face, waited a few moments, and then brushed away the excess. The transformation was astonishing. I fumbled a bit while applying green eyeshadow, struggling with the unfamiliar applicator. Then I used a slim tube of black eyeliner, drawing a shaky line across my eyelids. I found a red lipstick and traced my lips as I had seen Kelly do. In the bathroom, I brushed my hair, but unable to create any hairstyle, I simply pulled it into a high ponytail. A green scrunchie covered the rubber band, and with two barrettes, I secured a few stray hairs. Carefully, I trimmed my bangs straight across my forehead. I put on the same pair of black heels I wore the day before. Looking in the mirror, I was proud of my transformation and decided to venture out. I took the extra key Kelly had given me, found an old purse, and stuffed it with my wallet, key, a few tissues, and a lipstick. Grabbing the same coat I wore the night I arrived, I left the apartment for the grocery store down the block. On the sidewalk, I heard my heels clicking against the concrete, felt the skirt swishing across my now nylon-clad legs, and noticed the colder air, a new sensation that made me acutely aware of my attire. At the grocery store, I found everything I needed. Boy, or maybe girl, would Kelly be surprised, I thought. No one gave me a second look as I strolled up and down the aisles. I paid for everything and headed back to the apartment. As luck would have it, the landlady saw me just as I was opening the door to the apartment. "Hi, I'm Mrs. Patricia. And you are?" "Oh, hi. I'm Kelly's sister, Melissa. Nice to meet you." She never mentioned she had a sister. "Well, I'm only in town for a few weeks, then I have to head back home. Nice meeting you." I went into the apartment and slumped against the door once it was shut. Without changing, I started preparing dinner after a stiff glass of milk. When Kelly came in, she was greeted with her favorite meal, spaghetti with homemade sauce, fresh bread, salad, and lemon pie. I was still wearing her clothes, although my makeup felt a bit off by then. Over dinner, I told her about the name I had given Mrs. Patricia and how I agreed with her suggestion about dressing to go out. I recounted my trip to the grocery store that afternoon and mentioned that Mrs. Patricia noted Kelly had never mentioned a sister named Melissa, just to give her a heads up. Kind of a nosy old broad, I think. "Now, Melissa, be nice. She looks after all of us like we were her children. Stand up and let me look at you." I stood up, and she gave me her seal of approval. "With a bit more practice with the eyeliner and shadow, you'll be fine. But your hair needs some work. Tomorrow is Saturday, so why don't we go to the salon? You can get it shaped and trimmed. It'll be much easier to manage." "A salon? Isn't that going a bit far?" "Not really. Changing Dad's mind might take a while, and if you're staying here pretending to be my sister, you should at least look like a girl who takes care of herself. A new hairstyle and maybe some work on your nails will make a big difference in how you look and probably help you feel more like a girl. Right now, that's what we need, for you to feel more like a girl and less like a boy in a dress. So, how about it? Will you do it?" "I guess, as long as they don't cut too much off." I slept like a log that night, but Kelly was awake making plans for her sister. "Get dressed in what you wore yesterday, Melissa. I'll change while you take a shower." I stepped into the shower and shaved as closely as possible. Once out, I prepared to get dressed as instructed. Walking into my room, I noticed something new on the bed. "Kelly!" I called. When she walked in, I said, "I think I'll need some help with this, whatever it is. Put on your panties and hose, and I'll be back." After following her instructions, I called for her. Kelly wrapped the corset around me. "Now raise your arms and take a deep breath." I did, and she tightened the laces of the corset. "Now you can finish getting dressed." When I put on the bra, I noticed that the excess flesh on my chest had been pushed up, giving me the appearance of having a feminine chest. I have a female chest. Kelly. It's an old trick almost every girl uses once in a while. I found that the skirt fit better since it wasn't as tight. With Kelly's help lacing me into the corset, I had a very feminine figure, which changed everything else. Sit at the vanity, Melissa. Let me do your hair. Easy for her to say. The corset made me feel like I was being cut in two, forcing my back straighter, which affected how I walked, sat, and moved in general. Kelly rolled, sprayed, and pinned my hair while using her brush. When she finished, I had a very nice chignon. I put on the same blouse, and Kelly declared me ready. She handed me the same purse I used the day before, and we left. Mrs. Patricia watched from her room and saw two attractive girls leaving. At the mall, I found myself heading straight into the beauty shop. This is my sister Melissa. She needs a lot of work. See what you can do. I was led to the back of the shop. The stylist, Terry, showed me several styles, and with her help, I selected one that I liked. My hair was generally straight with a slight wave, which Terry accentuated when she cut it. After an hour and a half, I left the salon with a new hairstyle. My nails had been trimmed, filed, and given short acrylic extensions, painted a soft plum color. Kelly was right. I felt very feminine. Terry had styled my hair so that it fell in waves down my back, with the front brushed and sprayed to look casual, and the sides framing my face, curling just at the chin. Kelly was waiting for me when I walked out. Wow! You look stunning. Kelly beamed as we walked away from the salon, and I felt fantastic. It was like I was a whole new person. Kelly seemed to have thought a lot about me living with her as a sister, and I was right. You need some clothes of your own. I don't like sharing my underwear, so let's get you some bras and panties, maybe a dress and a skirt or two. We strolled along, looking in store windows. Excuse me. Mom. Kelly turned and introduced me. This is my friend Melissa. She's staying with me for a few days. Just then, our dad walked up, and Kelly introduced me again. Well, we have to get Melissa a ton of stuff. Bye. Unseen by me, Dad handed Kelly his credit card. By the time we left the mall, I had new shoes, 3 pairs, bras, panties, 2 dresses, a suit, 2 slips, a new corset, pantyhose, 4 skirts and blouses, a new purse, gloves, a coat, several pairs of earrings, some bracelets, and necklaces. I also had my makeup done by a professional. We dragged ourselves and our packages to the car and headed home. Seems like a lot of stuff. Kelly. Do I really need it? You wear clean clothes every day, don't you? We girls do too. We just have more layers. Besides, did Mom or Dad show any sign they recognized you? I had to admit they didn't, and I was starting to enjoy this girl stuff. We put everything away, and Kelly suggested we go out somewhere. It's Saturday, Melissa. Nobody stays home unless they have to. I couldn't say no to my sister after all she'd done for me, especially after spending all that money today. Okay, sis, what do we wear? When we left the apartment, we were both wearing short flippy skirts, mine red and Kelly's blue, with thin sweaters. I felt a bit unsteady in the 3-inch heels, but I was getting used to them. We went to Spy's, a local country dance place. As we walked in, the guys at the bar hooted, making me think they had read me, but Kelly told me to relax. They do that to all the girls who come here, no matter who they are. We found a table and settled in. As the music started and couples hit the dance floor, I understood why Kelly insisted I wear matching panties. Most of the girls wore skirts similar to mine, and when twirled by the guys, their panties were often revealed. A tall guy approached and took my hand. I wasn't eager to join him, but declining seemed difficult, so I went along to the dance floor. He was a skilled dancer, and the music made it easy to follow his lead. I caught glimpses of Kelly as she danced around. Eventually, there was a break in the music, and she collapsed at our table, tired yet exhilarated. What's on your mind, Melissa? I'm not entirely sure, Kelly. Just excited to be here, I suppose. We danced a lot that night. Kyle, my first partner, asked me to leave with him, but I declined. I'm here with my sister, Kyle. Maybe I'll see you here again. He kissed my hand and departed. I noticed you with that guy, Melissa. You looked like a real couple. Kelly attempted to tease me, but she quickly realized I wasn't enjoying it, so she stopped. The following day was Sunday, and Kelly suggested we attend church and then go for a drive. I had spent most of the night awake, wrestling with the conflicting feelings inside me. I knew I was male, but I found dressing as a girl incredibly appealing. I was at a loss for what to do. Eventually, I decided to take a bath and shave my entire body again. In my room, I selected a pair of white panties with lace trim, the newer French cut style. As I slipped them on, it felt like I was stepping out of my male body and into a female one. Carefully tucking myself away, I achieved a smooth silhouette with no visible bulge. The corset I chose was also white, a new addition to my wardrobe. This one featured front laces, allowing me to tighten it as needed without assistance. The bra, also white, was a size 36B with lace-trimmed demi-cups and a front fastener. As I put it on and fastened the hooks, I noticed it enhanced my modest chest, pulling it into the cups. Using a foam pad I had purchased while shopping, I filled out the bra, creating a realistic cleavage. I meticulously rolled the hose up my smooth legs and secured them to the garters hanging from the corset. I relished the way they snugly embraced my legs. My slip coordinated with the bra, featuring the same lace trim. I stepped into it and pulled it up to my waist. I had paid close attention during my makeup session and endeavored to replicate it. The foundation glided on smoothly as I dabbed it on with my fingers, seamlessly concealing my light beard. Powder was applied to my face, and after a brief wait, I brushed off the excess, leaving my skin with a matte finish. For eyeshadow, I opted for a pale blue shade with a hint of lilac laid over it. Using a sponge, I blended the colors flawlessly and applied a deep black liquid eyeliner on the upper lid with a black pencil on the lower lid to enhance my eyes. A touch of black mascara added a sultry allure to my lashes. After a few strokes with a brush, my hair fell perfectly into place. A spritz of hairspray ensured it stayed put. The skirt, made of white gabardine in an A-line style, fit me impeccably, falling about 2 inches above my knees. I pulled it on and fastened the button for now. My blouse, in a vibrant red hue, boasted a square-cut neckline that teased a hint of the lingerie underneath. I swiftly buttoned it up and tucked it into my skirt before zipping it closed. The matching jacket had no lapels and hugged my figure snugly. Ensuring I had everything I needed in my purse, I applied lipstick, a dab of perfume, and confidently walked out of the room. "Good morning, Melissa." It was my parents, waiting for me. "You look just lovely, dear." My mother, addressing me, her son, as lovely. Morning. "Melissa, please sit down for a moment. We have a spare room at our house, and we were wondering if you would like to come live with us." I was stunned. "We used to have a son at our house," Dad said. "I made a lot of mistakes, and he left. In my stupidity, I drove him away. Maybe you would like to." Dad sat with his hands over his face. "Dear, we know it's you. Your dad and I, insisted that Kelly get all the clothes you needed. That was our credit card she used. Come home, just as you are. Be our daughter, our son. We don't care." I sat there, unable to find any words to express how I felt. Dad had been insistent that I change my ways, be more like him, I suppose. But while I had changed, I found that I liked being more like Mom, and neither of them seemed to mind. For my dad, it was a significant shift in perspective, especially considering my appearance at that moment. But then, they had paid for everything when Kelly and I went shopping. While I had never dressed as a girl before, I felt fulfilled, as if this is what I had been searching for during my travels. All this time, it had been as simple as a tube of lipstick away. Now that I had found myself, it seemed there was no turning back. I had to explore these new feelings and maybe embrace the woman I appeared to be now. "Dad," I waited for him to meet my gaze. "I feel comfortable as Melissa. It's what I've been searching for all this time. If you and Mom are okay with it, that's how I want to be from now on." There were many tears shed that morning, but eventually, after all three of us ladies had touched up our makeup, we left Kelly's apartment, heading for the church as a family for the first time in years. Together, we encountered Mrs. Patricia as she emerged from her place. We waited for her at the elevator. Mrs. Patricia, these are our parents. And of course, you met Megan the other day. Yes, I did. She is a lovely girl, Kelly, just like you. Our girls are joining us at church. Would you like to come along, Mrs. Patricia? With Dad referring to us as our girls, any lingering doubt Mrs. Patricia might have had vanished. The 5 of us went to church, then had lunch. Finally, Mom helped me pack up my clothes, and I went home for the first time in 3 years. Dad got what he wanted. I changed my appearance. Kelly got what she always wanted. A sister. I got the chance to explore the new me, and Mom, well, she accepted it all with her usual grace. Over the next month, Dad and I grew closer, and he began referring to me as Kitten, a clear sign that he had embraced the new me. I improved my skills in makeup and hair, learned to select outfits, and even started dating a guy I met at Spurs. I wonder where this journey will take me. If you enjoyed this story and want to show your support, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Also, for every comment with 69, you could have a chance to video chat with me. Thanks for your time.